Om Shanti. I believe there was a disruption in the connection for a minute or so. And did you ask why at that time? Why is this happening? Because you see, this is what we were trying to understand in the meditation, that there is no why. And everything is going on the way it is predestined. Everything, everyone, every behavior is just happening accurately the way it ought to be. Today, Baba is giving us only one sentence in the Murli, and that sentence is, Baba says, there are many souls and each one has his own part. You are sitting here. You would have been sitting here in the previous cycle too. Leaves shake according to the drama. It isn't that God makes every leaf shake. Every leaf, in Bhakti they say that पत्ता पत्ता भगवान की मर्जी से हिलता है. So whenever every leaf is shaking, you think that God is responsible for it. But Baba says no. Leaves are shaking according to the drama. It isn't that God makes every leaf shake. Understand these things and then explain them to others. Each one of you can understand whether you have become a moth. Who is a moth? So have you seen those tiny green insects who are very attracted to the flame during Deepavali? And then they come and they want to get closer to the flame and then they burn themselves. So those are the moths that Baba is referring to. And Baba says, are you that moth who has felt the beauty of Baba and the attractiveness, and then have you surrendered completely in that state of attraction? So that is the kind of moth we have to become. So Baba says each of you can understand whether you have become a moth, whether you follow Baba's directions, or whether you talk about useless matters, or whether you use your money for sin. Okay, so Baba says we have to check these three things. Whether I follow Baba's directions, whether I talk about useless things, and whether I use my money for sin. Yes, so money can be used both ways, for charity and for sin, punya and pap. So Baba is asking us these three questions and we will look at that. But first we will talk about the fact that everything is happening according to its predestined, part. And there is no question of why in anything that's happening. When you ask why, then you find out a reason why something is happening. And then you blame that person or that situation which you think is the reason why something that you don't like is happening. And then because of that blame, you inside of you create feelings of anger and criticism for that one. And then you spoil the purity of your heart when you do that. But the beautiful thing is, even when you do all of this, the situation remains what it is. And what you have to do for it also stays the same. So whether you make your heart bitter, whether you hold a person or a situation responsible for something, even if you're doing that, you're only spoiling the purity of your heart. But the two main questions that crop up in any situation, what are those two main questions? First thing is, what is happening? And second thing is, what do I have to do about it? Yes, so understanding what is happening, not understanding why it's happening or who is to blame, Instead of asking who is to blame, let me fully understand what's happening. So what is it that is actually the situation, and what is it that is to be dealt with? And then how do I deal with it is the second question. And do you understand that 90% of our energy is wasted in this first question, who is to blame? And then creating thoughts and feelings about that one. And then sometimes we don't even have a proper understanding of the situation because our intellect is so unavailable. It's being used up so much in thinking about who is to blame and what are they to be blamed about, that we don't even have the availability of our buddhi to discern what is actually going on. And then how do I have to respond to it? Yes, so let's say so the oil has spilled maybe. Yes, so somebody was working in the kitchen and then the can of oil or the bowl of oil has spilled. So what do you necessarily need to find out? All the places where there is oil now and there is chances that people would slip over it. Yes, but then you're not able to see that properly because you're so angry on the person you think is responsible for that. So you have to assess the situation. Where is it that the problem is? And then you have to ask yourself, what do I use to clean this? What is the best thing I can use to clean it up in very little time? And then if you spend even one thought in thinking about who is responsible, then all your focus of attention goes to that person. And then you are not able to there is no availability of buddhi for other stuff. And this is why one problem leads to another problem. Yes? Or if there is an illness in the body, you don't ask why it happened. Yes? You just understand that it is what it is. This is the scene in the drama every 5,000 years. And every 5,000 years, you have treated your body. So then you ask, what did I do last time to get this treated? Okay. So you just ask yourself, how do I deal with this? How do I get it diagnosed properly? What is the issue? And how do I deal with it? Not blaming where this came from or how it happened. But that doesn't mean that now you are fine and you don't care whether you'll be ill tomorrow, and then you do actions which put you in trouble. Okay, so responding every moment. So responding to what has already happened is different from how you deal with what you want in the future. Okay, so when you're dealing with something that is already at your doorstep and it needs to be attended to, then you don't ask why, how, this, that. Don't waste your energy and just respond to it. And when something has not happened, then you create a good future for yourself. So you take care, take precautions. That's what you do. So Baba has given us these two tools, the tool of drama and the tool of effort. So Baba says, use the tool of drama when you're faced with a situation that's already there. And use the tool of effort when you have to discern and decide what to do to create a good future. Okay, so don't use these two interchangeably. Because this knowledge of drama is like a knife. If you hold the knife right, it chops everything for you. And then if you hold the knife wrong, it chops you. So if you just reverse it, if you just say that everything that's going to happen is going to happen. No, that's not the way you use the tool of drama. If you say that, then you don't take responsibility for your current actions. And if you say that this happened because this person is to blame, or it wouldn't have happened if this person had not behaved like that, then you're going into waste thinking, because it's already done and over with, and it can't be changed. So this is why for things that have happened, you use the tool of drama. And for things that are coming, you discern, decide, choose your actions wisely. Okay, so this is what Baba is saying. And never ask why for anything that happened in the past. And always remember one rule. There is no logic for change. Change is a law. Yes, there is no logic for change. Change is a law. Do you understand that when we undertake the course, Baba has given us knowledge of the drama. And what is the knowledge of the drama? That the golden age has to change into the silver age. The silver age has to change into the copper age. The copper age has to change into the iron age. And then the iron age has to change into the golden age. This is the law of change. And there is no reason why it is like this. This is how it is. It has to change. If somebody is nice to you, it's not because of you. If somebody is bad to you, it's not because of you. And somebody suddenly stops being good to you, that's also their part in drama. Yes. Are you the same always? Can you figure out one relationship where you changed, the other party didn't change? They're still the same expectations, same demands, same everything, but now you don't feel the same. One relationship. No? Deeply check. Check deeply. Ask the people around you who keep telling you, you changed, you changed. I didn't change. Yes, so there are people who keep telling you that you changed, I didn't change in this relationship. Mostly parents do that. Yes, they say, you grew up, you changed. I'm still that same person waiting for my child. But you say, I'm not a child anymore. So they say, yes, you changed, I didn't change. So change is a law. Nobody can stay the same. And we don't change because of something. We just change because of the drama. And nothing is going to stay the same. So never go about asking why this happened, what is the reason, who is to blame. No. If there is a change, you deal with the change. Yes, suddenly there is a condition in the body which doesn't allow you that kind of mobility or flexibility or strength that earlier you used to enjoy. This is a change. And then what do you ask yourself? You ask yourself, how do I deal with this change and lead the rest of my life in this body with dignity with this condition? You don't ask why this happened or who is to blame or which gene or which person it came from or whether it is hereditary or not hereditary or whether it is lifestyle or not lifestyle. And when you ask yourself how to deal with it, then in that is included, if it is a lifestyle thing, what change you bring about in your lifestyle. But you don't ask that about the past because the past cannot be changed. Baba is today asking us to check three things. Do we follow Srimad? Baba asks us to wake up in the morning. Do we wake up in the morning? Do we eat pure food? Do we observe purity in our thought, word, and deed? So Baba is asking us whether you do that or not. Check for yourself. Because now that you have the knowledge, check for yourself how much of a well-wisher you are of yourself. And if you don't use the Shrimad that Baba is giving you to make your life better, then you can blame nobody because God Himself is teaching you how to come to a better condition. And then if we don't do that, then we can't blame anybody for our future, whatever it is. And the second thing Baba asks us to check is whether you talk about useless matters, and one useless matter we just discussed. Who is responsible for what? And if you check, most of our thoughts are about this thing. Starting from the micro level to the macro level. Is who is responsible for the condition of the family, who is responsible for the condition of my mind, who is responsible for the condition of the society, the nation, the world. We are always trying to fix somebody's responsibility. And all that is a useless matter, because if you keep blaming and you keep putting the onus of whatever the condition is on some person, some nation, some state, something, it is not helping you move forward. Because in the beginning, I mentioned these two questions: understanding the situation, not understanding the source. Understanding the source, if you can contain it. If you cannot contain it, then not understanding the source, understanding the situation and understanding what you need to do about it. That is what we need to do. We don't need to understand where it came from, why this person is behaving the way he is. No. That's not our job. Or that's not something that can be addressed immediately. Yes, but what has to be addressed immediately is, how do I deal with it? And Baba says, focus on that. Don't create useless thoughts. Yes, if you are in a situation where somebody is abusing you every day, emotionally or verbally or physically or any which way, you don't ask yourself why that person is doing that. You ask yourself how you protect yourself. Don't double the mental abuse. A, he is abusing you. B, you are abusing yourself by thinking about why he is or she is abusing you. So this is double the strain on mental health. So you ask yourself, how do I protect myself? Not first physically, first mentally. How do I pull up my power of tolerance? And then when I have this strength, let me create a different physical situation for myself. Otherwise, it just becomes a vicious cycle. You keep blaming and you keep coming into lower spiritual strength, and then the abuse gets worse, and then you are not even in physical strength to create a different physical condition for yourself. So Baba says, focus on the useful things, not on the useless things. And third, Baba says, don't use your money for sin. Use it for good karma, for empowering spiritual growth, for giving the power to souls so that they can develop spiritually. That is what your money should go for. So this is something, and then today I will read out what Baba says about sorrow. And Baba is saying, the Father is constantly the bestower of happiness. It isn't the Father who causes sorrow. The Father would never cause his children sorrow. Children receive sorrow through their wrong activities. The Father cannot cause sorrow. So Baba says, follow Shrimat. You receive sorrow by following devilish dictates. Children experience sorrow when they don't obey the directions of their father, their teacher, or their elders. They cause sorrow for themselves. They belong to Maya. It is only now that you receive God's directions. The result of following God's directions lasts for 21 births. And then you follow Maya's direction for half the cycle. God only comes once to give you directions. Maya has been giving you directions for half the cycle. The Father only gives you directions once. Okay? Now, Baba says that Maya gives you directions, and when you follow those directions, you become sorrowful. And Baba gives you directions, and when you follow those directions, you are liberated from sorrow, and not only for one birth, but for 21 births. Now, what is it that Baba is telling you different from what Maya is telling you? And do you really know how Maya is teaching you? Let me tell you one thing. Yesterday, there is this young girl, and she visited me, and she told me that I'm doing very well for myself. So I said, would you like to share in detail? And then she said that there are days when I feel very low, and there are days when I feel, very exuberant about things. So when I'm feeling very low, I pull myself up, and then I'm back to my state of exuberance. And then she said that there are many of my friends who resort to, drugs or alcohol or something else to pull themselves up from that state. But I don't do that. I do it by myself. So I said, okay, but how many days does it take you? So she said it takes around 10 or 12 days to come from a state of low to a high state. And then I told her, so this whole pattern, going down and then rising up, this pattern, how long has it been continuing? And then she said, it's been continuing for 10 years now. And I said, has the period gotten longer or shorter? She said, no, it's getting longer. So earlier, the lows used to last for 2 days, 3 days. Now it's 10, 12 days over the years. And then I said, so what makes you think that you're growing? So she said, I don't know. After all these questions, I'm really not sure whether I'm growing. So you see, you are constantly comparing yourself with people who are not dealing their life right. Yes, they are using addictive substances, and then you are comparing yourself, your state with them, and you're feeling better about yourself. So what you need to do is you have to have a good reference point. And I suggested that you should have a good reference point. You should keep more company of people who are doing good for themselves. So she said, where is that company? I said, it's right in front of you. We are sitting here. But do you understand what Maya is doing? Let me put it very bluntly. Maya says all these spiritual people are either, they are duping other people, or they are too good to be true, and then we can't be like them. We are ordinary, and then they are special people, so they can be like themselves. I can't be like them. So either you have a mindset where Maya tells you that this is not my path and they are not the right kind of people, or Maya deceives you like they are too great for me to be like them. Yes, so look at how Maya is talking about. Maya is sitting inside us and taking us away from goodness, happiness, discipline, other stuff. This is a very subtle form of Maya. And then what Baba says is, you are the child of God. You have the same qualities as Baba has. You are a divine soul. You are that soul who you went and worshipped in the temple. Yes, just like you see a picture of a person and you ask, this is the picture, where is the person? Yes? Similarly, you saw your pictures in the temples and you are that person whose pictures you were worshipping. Where else are those people whose pictures are being worshipped in the temples? And there are so many. So now you recognize yourself. And Baba says there is no virtue, there is no power which cannot be available to you. You are the child of the ocean of virtues and powers. And Baba says just follow Srimad. And that will make you very content and peaceful and happy, because when you come to your own empowered state, then you come to a state of fullness and happiness and peace. So this is the first thing that Baba tells us, which is Shrimad. And what is Shrimad? You are a divine soul. You are the child of the ocean of peace, knowledge, purity. You are not less. You are not less than God Himself. You are His child. And then what does Maya say? Maya says, oh, you are better than this one, and that's enough. So this is something. And then you see, Maya tells us so many other things which Baba tells us very differently. So Maya tells us that you have physical needs which you need to fulfill through the body. And then if you don't get enough lust, then your body, then you cannot be okay. Yes, because your needs are not being met. Or you have emotional needs which you need to fulfill from people. So if people are not your way, you cannot be at peace, because that's how emotional needs get fulfilled. This is what Maya says. And then Maya says you have financial needs, and that will be fulfilled through money. So you have to be very greedy about money. And then Maya says that dignity will come when other people bow down to you. So you have to have a lot of, that's why ego, yes? So why didn't this person say namaste, and why didn't that person say hello, and they didn't reply to my WhatsApp message? And why didn't I get the promotion, and why are they pushing me down or pulling me this side? All of that is going on because Maya says you cannot be in dignity if other people don't give you that dignity. You yourself are not dignified enough. Okay, so other people have to give you that dignity. So Maya has convinced us that we are very needy people with physical needs, emotional needs, financial needs, and the need for other people to give us dignity. And Baba says, no, it's not like that. You are a complete soul. And all you need to do is, you need to connect with me. And when you connect with me, you're full. You don't have physical needs, you don't have financial needs, you don't have emotional needs, and you don't need anybody to bow down to you so that you feel great. You don't need the support of any position or designation to feel great. You are just a soul. Yes, a soul which doesn't have any physical, emotional, financial, or the need for other people to say you're worthy and great and good. And Baba says, come out of this neediness, know who you are. And when you are in that state, then you will never be in a position where the body will not be taken care of. So, whatever the body needs will be received by the body. And the body doesn't need lust, it needs roti, kapda and makan. So that is not a physical need. The physical need, if there is, then the body is made up of 5 elements, and it needs 5 elements. It needs clean air, it needs water, it needs, it needs food. So all that you will get if you are in proper state of consciousness. And there are no, so, and you will get the finances which will provide for that. So that's about the body. But first you come to your power. Baba says, don't go into the chakkar of the body, okay? So don't get attached with the body. Know you are a soul and realize your power. And Maya has very well convinced us that you don't have any power, you're very, very needy. And if those needs are not met, you cannot be in your power, you cannot be in peace, you cannot be happy. But then Baba says, no, it's not like that. So do you understand the belief systems that Maya has put us into? Yes, and what Baba is teaching us, and what's the difference between Shrimat and Maya's Mat, the dictates of Maya and the dictates of Baba. And then Baba says, just practice, just internalize whatever I'm teaching you, and you will not ever experience any inkling of sorrow. You will always be constantly happy. And then Baba says that there is another belief system which we have created, which Maya has convinced us, that taking sorrow is natural. Yes, if someone is not behaving according to how I think they should behave, or situations are not okay, then I have to take sorrow, like dukhi hona natural hai. I must feel pain, must feel sorrowful. Now Baba says, okay, I understood that somebody is not behaving like you want them to, but why are you feeling sorrowful about it? You just tune yourself. And in my earlier days when I came to Baba, there was this sister who was always happy and smiling. So, and when she would, and I had some kind of acquaintance with her for some time. So I kind of knew what she liked and what she didn't like. And then I was with her in a situation where something that she didn't like was happening. And she was smiling there and also laughing, and it came from the heart. So I asked her, so what did you think in that situation? Because in that situation, I know that what they were doing was not of your liking. So how did you laugh about it or smile about it? And then she told me a very good secret. She told me that whenever something doesn't happen my way, I don't say it's bad, it's wrong. I say, how amazing, I would never have done it that way. And she said that, last evening there was somebody who started gossiping, and they just went on talking for an hour. And then I said, how amazing, even if there was a gun point on my head, I couldn't do this. So it's very amazing how different people are and how differently they can do things. So I don't say it's bad, it's wrong, it's making me sad, I can't stand it. I have to sit there, so I just marvel at it. And then it's always amazing. So Baba says, why don't you condition yourself for a different response? And you could use this one, it works. And I have used it many times. So if you have to be in a situation where something is not of your liking, don't say, I don't like it. You say, how amazing, I'm thrilled at it. Okay, so this is Baba's Shrimat. And then you see Maya teaches us to feel sorrowful about it, feel bad about it, say it's wrong, it's not good. But Baba says, say how amazing, and just cross every scene like that. So this is the difference between how Maya has trained us into sorrow and how Baba is training us out of sorrow. So just remember how to use the point of drama, and remember what Baba is telling you about yourself, your potential, who you belong to, and that will make you very, very happy. Om Shanti.